which leads me to believe that it's a lot more nefarious. See, one thing that I noticed while I was living in the Dakotas is that we have a lot of Canadian trains. And they carry a lot of Chinese parts. Lots of them. The Chinese transport things through Canada to the US and vice versa. Well, one fun fact is that fentanyl is created in a certain way. It could be benign. It is a drug that has to be altered in order to have the potency that we see. Now, I'm not saying it is, but I believe it was something a little bit more dangerous because chemistry and science. Because if there's one leak from another, there's another leak from another. They don't want you to know how important the cargo is to them. They're willing for you to go into conspiracy routes of killing their fish and tainting their water, which indeed seems like the case. But it's because they're hiding more. When I was observing the interviews, the constant reminder was, this is what the trains told us. And I thought to myself, why is anyone waiting for the governor to say something? Or heck, why are they waiting for anyone in an executive office in Ohio to say anything? In the area of where this happened, East Palestine, the city has great power over what goes through it. It is very important to understand that each city and each county have laws and have boundaries with companies, both private and, government run, on what can pass through. For example, if you don't want a train to go through your city, you can tell them that you are removing the tracks. But if you are having a train go through your city, you are allowed at any given time to demand the track warrants to see what is being put through. And so track warrants are not classified in nature. They're supposed to be an open book. And you shouldn't get just the one from East Palestine, from wherever it came from. You can trace it all the way back to Canada. And then you can also demand to see who checked the cargo. This is how they find people and shoes. This is stuff Border Patrol knows. So for those of you that may listen to this or are listening right now that are in the railway industry and or have worked Border Patrol, you know that everything I am saying is exactly correct. So the question herein lies is, why hasn't anyone pointed that out? Why hasn't anyone in the media just requested these track warrants? Or better yet, why hasn't any resident of East Palestine, Ohio demanded such? And it almost seems like people have just sat back and watched this all happen and realize it's a distraction that can actually backfire health-wise. Because if indeed it is what I believe it is, which are components of fentanyl, because one thing people don't tell you is that fentanyl is a fantastic drug to ensure the viability of human organs. And here's a fun fact. Fentanyl, when you die and overdose from it, guess what? Your chances of becoming an organ donor have exponentially increased. Most organ donors in America last year were from fentanyl overdoses. And you know what else is funny? In China, fentanyl is used on prisoners whom they harvest organs from. So you have to ask yourself, is this just a drug? Or are we actually actively importing this via our railways? Because if it is, we're seeing a spike in it. Massachusetts already introduced legislation to offer to prisoners a reduced or even canceled sentence if they decide to donate an organ. And there are many more states that are following suit. I think California should be paying attention